Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in today's video we're going to be doing a curly hair Q&A. The day that I decided to film this, my hair is in a bun. There's a lot of you who have been asking me lately for like tips and tricks and stuff like that on YouTube and on Instagram, more on Instagram. But anyway, I asked you guys on social media for your questions. So without any further ado, let's get into these questions. Okay, so you guys have asked me quite a lot of questions. So I'm going to try and go through all of them quite quickly and as sufficiently, but also like, I'm just going to try my best basically. I'm like, okay. How do I get my curls really defined and not have it look frizzy? So what I use to define my hair, so I like to use a product with a little bit more oil in it, just so I can get a nice defined ring. You can use Aunt Jackie's Curl La La, you can use the Moroccan Oil Intense Curl Cream that I mentioned in my previous curly hair video. What I like to use is like those kinds of products it's quite intense. So I like to use my finger and I actually curl it myself, or I'll use the brush that you guys have seen me use countless times, and I use that to define the curls. Especially if you're looking for a really tight ringlet, I would suggest using a comb or like those paddle brushes and just curling each and every single one, and it makes it really defined. And when your hair is kind of like semi-dry, you can break each ringlet apart and there isn't any frizz because of the oils that I've used in the products. So that's a tip that I would give in terms of getting a nice defined curl. How do you use a gel to set your curl, and do you follow a curly girl routine like the LOC or LCO method? First of all, I don't use a gel to set the curl. Like I mentioned in the previous answer, I use a really nice and defining curl cream. I either use the one from ENQUIRIES or I use the one from Moroccan Oil. Let me actually fetch them so you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. The one I use from ENQUIRIES is the Afro Vegan leave-in curling cream. So this one has castor oil and shea butter. So like I mentioned, for a nice defined curl, I would suggest something that has a nice oil in it or like a butter. That's really gonna help control the frizz in the hair. And I will leave all of these things in the description box, like all the details of all the product. This is the one that I use. It's a curl defining cream for curl hair, for like curly hair. So yeah, those are the products that I've been using like lately. But like I mentioned, you can also use Aunt Jackie's Curl La La, or I can't remember what the yellow tub is called, but I've also tried it. Can't remember what it's called. So many of you have also asked me like why I use such expensive products. Honestly, for me, it's the quality. I can tell the difference between the quality on my hair and when a product is actually doing what I want it to do. I prefer getting more like good quality products that I know is going to make a huge difference in my hair. And for me, it's actually an investment. As you guys saw from previous pictures, there's such a massive difference between a few years ago and what my hair looks like now. Even though I am sponsored these products, I would highly recommend actually using the products. I'm not trying to sell you anything, guys. Like, I'm genuinely just being honest with you, just because I know what it's like using a product. For example, conditioner. I've heard of so many women who use just regular conditioner on their hair. This is guaranteed to make your hair really dry and cause dandruff as well. So they'll use a conditioner, or they'll use something like almost cheapy-ish, and if that works for you, all good. But for me, I noticed that the products that have the correct ingredients in it, They are usually more expensive, but they work on my hair. Going for regular trims, going for treatments and things like that, that's what really changed my hair. That's what made my hair what it is today. That's why I say, even though some of my products are sponsored, I know for a fact and I can tell you that if I run out of it, I will buy it myself because I know how good it is for my hair. How long do your curls last from wash day to bun day? My curls will last about a week before I have to wash it. I wash my hair once a week. What I like to use is a spritzer. So if I can see my hair starting to look a little bit confused, like am I straight, am I curly, am I frizzy, what is happening? I like to use a spritzer with just regular water in it. And then I also like to use, I started using this product. This is the Curl Re-Enhancing Spray from Moroccan Oil. So as you can see, I haven't used that much because it's new, but I started using that as well. Like I'll use water and then I'll use water or I'll use some of that. But majority of the time, these years, I've just been using water to sort of like refresh and rejuvenate my hair when I feel it needs it. I don't like to use too many products on my hair, to be honest, just because product buildup and your hair can actually become quite weighty because of all of the products in it. Does Curlala work? I have gotten this question so many times about why did you stop using Curlala, and do you use it or do you alternate? So I don't use it at all anymore. If you go down my feed on Instagram, you'll see that I did use Curlala quite often, and the reason I stopped using it was because my hair almost became like oily and there was a lot of product buildup even though I would wash my hair. Sometimes I'll shampoo my hair like twice in one wash and it would just feel very like oily. So I didn't like that, and I didn't like the product buildup. I think also because my hair became so like immune to it, it was like nothing was working anymore, if that makes sense. Yeah, that's why I decided to switch to something else. I know of many girls who still use Curlala and it works for them. Like, that's really cool because it is really affordable as well. But just for myself, I don't enjoy using it anymore. I feel like it's too heavy on my hair. I would also say that if you do want to try it, because the question was, does it work? It does work, but you have to try it for yourself. I can't like say yes or no because our hair could be completely different. What products did you use to achieve your healthy curls, and what process did you follow? When I cut my hair, I think it was beginning of last year that I started really investing into my hair. I have always had curly hair. Even if my hair was straight, it would not necessarily be as curly as I would want it, but I thought it was curly. I thought like, this is really cool hair. Always had curls. I think the beginning of last year, the end of 2017, I decided to collaborate with a salon in town called Blue Lemon. You guys have probably heard me speak about this brand so much on my Instagram because I genuinely trust them 100% with my hair. They know exactly how to deal with curly hair. Riaz and Taniel, they have changed my hair drastically over the past like year, 2 years. When I went in there the first time, I remember I didn't know like what to do with my hair, and they just completely transformed it over the past 2 years. When my hair is curly, that's how they'll cut it. They'll cut it in its wet state, in its curly state, but I always just end up telling them to blow dry it because then it's a nice change for me. And they are also the ones who I go to regularly for trims and things like that. In terms of the product for that question, I can't give you an exact product that I used because it's always just trial and error over the last 2 years. This one is the one that I have been using. I keep going back to it since I got it, and it is just so lightweight It was created, I think it was in South America. The country that these products were made in, they have a very similar climate to us, like here in Cape Town, and also their hair texture is also very similar to the people that live here in South Africa, which is why they decided to bring it over here as well. It's very lightweight. It is perfect for my kind of curl. I have a hair diffuser and a bush of curls, but I really don't know how to get that tight curl look. You can either use your finger, or like I said, you can use a paddle brush. Let me actually show you the one that I have. Alright, so this is the one that I have. It's just a regular brush. I actually got it in a Cosmopolitan. That's how much of like a cheapie it is. So I use that every single time that I curl my hair, like when I am about to diffuse it. So what you're going to want to do is use that and actually curl it until it wraps around the actual handle, and then you want to let go, and then just obviously make sure that it's nice and tight like you want it. And then in terms of diffusing, you would use it on a medium heat. Some girls with curly hair like to use it on a lighter, like cold heat but I like to use it on medium, and I go from the bottom and I scrunch it onto my scalp. So I actually want to feel like on a diffuser you have like those almost like fingers. I like to feel it on the scalp so I can feel the heat actually like doing its thing on my hair. Many girls with curly hair say that you shouldn't like move it. I like to do that, but apparently it causes frizz. I haven't really like felt that for myself, but obviously it depends on your hair type if that's gonna happen. How long did the transition from straight hair to curly hair take you? I have never had a transition period, if you want to call it that. Many girls think that I did just because of my pictures where I show you like the before, but I never actually had like a straight to curly transition where my hair didn't curl. Like I said, my hair has always been curly, but I didn't know how to take care of it, and I used to straighten my hair like a lot, especially when I was in matric up until like studying days and stuff. But yeah, I never went from like straight to curly. It was just in the last 2 years that I actually started taking proper care of my hair, and it has been such a change when you actually put time in and you invest into your hair, that you'll notice such a massive difference. How often do you trim your hair? I trim my hair every 6 to 8 weeks. Sometimes if I go to the salon like every 2 to 4 weeks, they'll just check my hair at Blue Lemon to see that everything is like looking decent, no split ends. And then if there is something like that, then Riaz will just trim it. But other than that, I try to go every 6 to 8 weeks. It is very important for you to cut your hair. How do you make your hair at night? How do you make your hair at night when you go to bed without ruining your curls? Use a scrunchie, like a silk scrunchie, and I'll just gently put my hair up in a scrunchie, like at the top of my head. Basically like this bun, except I don't bun it. I just put it at the top of my head and I just leave it like that. Many girls use like the bonnet situation, the silk wrap, but you can also sleep on a silk pillow, which is what I do. I got my silk pillow off of Zando. I'll leave the link down below. Okay, so someone asked any recommendations of a curly stylist who can cut my hair in its natural state. Blue Lemon. I'll leave their details down below in the description box. I've got curly / wavy frizzy hair. Would you recommend a Botox or Brazilian to tame it? I've never ever done a Brazilian to my hair. I've never done any like straightening. I've never ever done any straightening treatments to my hair. I can't tell you whether you should do that or not, because if you do and it messes up, you're gonna blame me. So I'm not gonna answer that question. Do you use a hair refresher spray? Like I said, I use a spritzer with just water in it, and I started using this curl re-energizing spray from Moroccan Oil. I've also heard that it's good to use like a curling cream just a little bit of it in water in a spritzer, or you can also use like an oil concoction in water, and then you obviously just shake it and spray it on your hair. I haven't done that myself, but I've heard that that's also really good to like refresh your hair. What cost-effective products do you recommend? Cost-effective but still does the job. You can find a lot of curly hair products at Mr. Price. Oh my word, I almost said Mr. Price. You can find a lot of them at Clicks. So Clicks has obviously brought in a lot of curly hair products, which obviously ranges from your afro type hair to your proper curly, like all different kinds of hair types. And I've heard that Cantu is really good. I've tried African Pride, but I haven't used their like leave-in product, so I can't tell you if that's a good one. Again, like I said, on Jackie's you can try them. Clicks has a lot of affordable options that you can try, but obviously it needs to be your decision at the end of the day. Like I always say, it might work for my hair, but you would need to try it for yourself as well. Hi Paula, how do I start my curly journey, and how do I know which products are for my hair type? So the way that I found my hair type was like I just looked at like diagrams and stuff, like I'm not even joking, online, and I have 3C kind of like a curl pattern. The products that you would need to try, it's literally trial and error. Don't be afraid to try different things. A lot of the time, like especially products at Clicks, they have like sample products that you can try like in sachets, and that's what I had to do because I had absolutely no idea. This was like 2 years ago. I had no idea what was gonna be like really good for my hair, so it just was a trial and error. But if your hair is really dry, I would say go with something that has a lot of good oils in. So that could be your like jojoba oil, shea butter, coconut oil, avocado oil. All those kinds of oils are going to be really good for your hair because it's obviously what it's lacking at the moment. When you go and look for products with those ingredients in it. For example, this one that I use, it says here, butters and vegetable oils are great for wavy, curly, frizzy and afro hair. There's also, it says here that the shea butter is a powerful moisturizer that leaves hair gentle. Castor oil as well, which is rich in vitamin E, minerals, and it's got like a whole lot of other properties in it, which is good for your hair. So those ingredients that I mentioned now, try and find products, just go through the labels. They like won't mock you or anything at the like Dis-Chem or Clicks, and just try and find products with those ingredients in it, and that's what's really gonna help your hair get onto that healthy journey again. Affordable curly hair products, the ones that you use or get sent, are actually expensive. I'm so sorry. Yeah, like I said, I get a lot of things that are sent to me or they sponsored. Sometimes I won't even know that a brand is sending me something. It's just for them to send me in the hopes that I'll try it out or something like that and then talk about it. I know that they are expensive. They obviously are just sent to me so that I can try them out, and if I love it, then I love it and I'll talk about it. As of late, I'm not using anything that's sort of like cost effective, if I can be honest, just because the ones that I am using is so good for my hair that I can't get away from it, you know. There is actually another product that I wanted to mention. So I just went and got some more products out of my box. These are just products that I like to use, like chop and change. Like if I feel like I want to try something new, or like if I feel like the product that I'm using at the moment is sort of like, what is going on with the lighting? Is sort of like not doing the trick. So I found this one as well. This is the Giovanni Direct Leave-In Weightless Moisture Conditioner, and even though it says it's a conditioner, you can leave this in, and it's also vegan, cruelty free. It's got natural botanical ingredients, and then also the packaging is recyclable. So this I got off of Faithful to Nature. I actually have a video with all of these kinds of products that you can get off of Faithful to Nature. And And I also have a discount code, which I'll leave in the description box for you guys. This is also a product that I really like. Super lightweight on the hair. And it smells so good. I wish you guys could smell this. Smell this. So this is something that I absolutely love. And then this is the Carol's Daughter Hair Milk. It's Cool Defining Moisture Mask. So this is something that if you feel like your hair is struggling at the moment and you just need like a lift, I've used this a good couple of times and it was great on the hair. It's also got mango butter in it, which is quite interesting. I've never ever like heard of a product that has mango butter in, but yeah, this you can find at Clicks as well. And this is the product that I was talking about from African Pride. So this is the coconut oil and baobab oil. So this is a leave-in cream. I haven't used this, but this is another product that if you want to, you can try it. I can't tell you if it works or not. It's another product from Click. It's way more affordable than the other products that I always recommend. And then this is also a product that I've started enjoying. This is the Tresemme Botanique Hair Food. It's got coconut oil and aloe vera. So those are the kinds of ingredients that I'm talking about that you should look out for in products. Oils and like natural ingredients. They also have this one. This is their pre-wash and detangling butter. So I like to use this before I wash my hair. You basically use it like you would use a conditioner, except you use it before you shampoo your hair, and it really helps to just like when you brush your hair out before you do anything. So the routine that I would use that is pre-wash butter, brush my hair out, shampoo, conditioner, and then I'm done. Did you ever get fed up and want to give up the curly hair journey? I've never actually wanted to give up because I know that I've always just had really curly hair. There was never a time where I was like, oh, I hate my hair. If I did get fed up, I would just straighten it, but then I'll always just end up going back to like leaving my hair natural. I've never ever been ashamed of my hair. Only this one time I remember in primary school. But I mean, that lasted for like not even that long. Yeah, there was times I'll get irritated and then I'll just put my hair in a bun, but it's not like I ever got fed up, you know. How do you keep your curls moisturized during the day without having to reapply product? I actually never have to reapply product on like wash day. I think if you add the right products to your hair from the get-go, you won't need to reapply products unless obviously you're wanting, like for example today I have a sleek bun, so I used a like gel spritzer. Yeah, it just starts with the right product, and I mean all those products that I mentioned, they are really good products. If I haven't tried it, I have watched reviews on it to see like what other people think. Pretty decent products that's gonna add a lot of moisture to the hair so that you won't need to reapply product. What products do you use to keep your hair so curly? This is what I use every time I wash my hair. I use the shampoo and I use the conditioner. It looks exactly the same, like the tubs look, or the bottles look the same. I also like to use this one when I'm done applying everything. Like once I've diffused my hair and my hair is like almost dry, I like to use the Tresemme Keratin Smooth oil, and this has marula oil in it, and this you can get literally anywhere. You can get this from Pick n Pay, Clicks, Dischem. I've seen it at Checkers. There's basically anywhere. And it's about 80 rand, I think. How do I get rid of heat damage? One side of my head is worse than the other side. Girlfriend, you are gonna have to snip that off. Heat damage is something that is difficult to repair, and it's gonna take a really long time, and that's basically why a lot of girls do the big chop. I would highly recommend snipping it off. Funny enough, I didn't really do like a big chop. Even though I didn't do like a big chop, I've constantly been cutting off the dead ends from heat damage. So I would recommend getting your hair trimmed or doing the big chop when it comes to like really damaged hair. Is it a necessity to do a big chop? Does all the hair on your head curl? My middle section doesn't want to. I just answered the big chop question in the previous answer, And yes, all the hair on my head does curl, but if you look at previous pictures, it didn't curl, especially in the front. It was struggling. Persistence, consistency, and just having patience with your hair, giving it the right treatments and giving it the, like, investing in it will help the curl to come back and that shine and healthy curl that you want. What do you suggest in terms of conditioning masks or hair oil for super dry hair? I enjoy these two. This is the Carol's Daughter Hair Milk Curl Defining Moisture Mask, which can be found at Clicks. And then I've also got the Carol's Daughter Black Vanilla Hair Smoothie. So yeah, I've always just used this one as a mask. How do you manage to get your bun that sleek? So this is day 6 hair, I think, and I just made it really tight today. So I used a scrunchie to put my hair in a pony, and then I basically twisted the hair around, and then I used another scrunchie to like get it really tight. And then just to set my hair, like almost like a gel, I used this LA Hold hair spritz, also from the brand Giovanni. I got this off of Faithful to Nature, and this is basically my fave to keep my hair down when I want it really sleek. And one you can also get in store is the Carol's Daughter Hair Milk. This is an alcohol-free gel, and I also use this one. This one's like almost empty. How to restore and elevate your natural curls. I really think that to restore your hair, I think your hair is actually trying to tell you that it's needing something different to what you are currently using. So when your hair is looking dull, it needs some sort of rejuvenation, it needs water, it needs moisture. So I would really recommend changing it up completely, like the products that you're using now, and changing to something that has butters in it, oils in it. I am going to end off this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and it was informative and things like that. All the description of the products, I will leave it in that description box below. If you guys want a part 2, let me know, because there's still so many questions that I didn't get to, simply because either it was like repetitive or something like that. So yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.